on live, man.
Okay, okay, okay.
So today's topic, man, we really gonna try to touch bases on, man, is mental health in schools, and the reason why uh we gonna talk about this a little bit is because the recent death I had in the family, and
Right, right,
being an educator and understanding the dynamic of what's going on with these kids.
right.
A lot of people don't want to have these conversations.
No,
What's going on with these kids? We
yeah,
overlook things, and then it sometimes becomes detrimental to the parents, right?
for real, for real.
And what I
It gets,
mean by that is it becomes detrimental to the point where if, like, me being an educator, I got to deal with the rift of kids being unruly to me because of the traumas that they're dealing with
most definitely, most definitely.
throughout the course of their life. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
times we say we got kids raising kids, and which we
and
do,
we really do, we really do.
but let's just keep it a book. Poverty has given us a new outlet to where we have to use our kids as pawns to get money to survive.
Right,
So with that comes overly medicated kids. With that
right.
comes a brainwashed mindset that these
Oh yeah.
kids are, um how do I say it? Um these
Um,
kids are crazy.
yeah, in that sense too, and also I believe that when you say a child is crazy and you keep on convincing a child at such a young age that they are crazy, that's what they think they are. They think that they're, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that's what they think they are because
Right.
you it's
Right.
better to in them and something could be not, nothing wrong with the child, but it's something a little bit of the child. So the parents sometimes use that child as a pawn to get money from the government,
Yeah.
and so that
Because
child. No, go ahead.
they have to survive. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They have to survive. Like, I'm not saying it's all about survival, and I'm not saying that kids, things like schizophrenia
It's real.
is real, but it is also hereditary.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Chemical imbalances,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of things that I think of when I think about mental health. We got to think
Most definitely.
the mixation of families. You
Yep.
know,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
somehow they're all in this melting pot. We all kin to one another somehow,
For
some way,
real.
some
For real. Somehow
form or
our
fashion.
bloodline is all the same.
And,
Yeah. You're right.
and in biblical terms, they say that that's incest, and
Yeah. It
incest
is.
brings upon things like that.
Most definitely. Definitely.
But I want
What
to
I
highlight some things though
go
moving
ahead. Go ahead.
forward, Kelly. I want us to talk about, and even though this might not publish tonight, we can come back and revisit it tomorrow when I got my laptop and I can post
Okay.
it in other social media
Most
sites and
definitely. Most
have this
definitely. Most definitely. Most
conversation.
definitely.
Um, and that's the biggest point of what are the school? How does the schools handle this? How does the medical what
Feel.
you call field handle this? How does
I
what's the process of when a kid comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm thinking about committing suicide"?
right.
Where does that come in at? You know?
Right. 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 Where's the where? And I know that for me, I work in the healthcare setting, and that when that happens, we either get them that help. We have them the police is called, and then we also have social workers and things like that in place to help those people get into either rehab facility or one of our psych units. You know what I mean, to get more help.
Right.
So that on my edge, that's what it is. Like I remember I had a situation recently. A female was trying to do that to herself, unalive herself, and it was crazy right in front of me. I mean, I'm like holding and like trying to, apprehend her to stop doing it to herself. And it was mind boggling to me because she was so young. So it was just unfortunate that
Right.
was going on. And my mind couldn't even go there. Like, dang, it's that bad out here. You know what I mean? For
Right.
you to do this to yourself. And I told her, I said, you way important. God loves you. I want you to, let me take off what I'm doing right here, who I am in front of you, and take the bad, all the stuff that I got off. And I just want to let you know as a human being, God loves you. You are very important. That person just started crying and all that stuff. And she was then able to be taken care of because she had calmed down. had got it to a level that she was like, you know what, this dude ain't trying to medicate me or anything like that. He's just coming in here to help me, and that's all I cared about. I only cared about her well-being. Wasn't violent or anything like that. She was just wanting to harm herself because she was in pain. So this mental illness, I have it in my family personally. You know what I'm saying? I got siblings that's fighting this and battling this every day. I got both of my siblings fighting this. So I totally understand what this mental illness thing can do. And it's very sad. It really is. You know what I mean? And I love both my siblings, no matter what they may think. You know what I mean? And it's devastating, man, when someone wants to take their life over and over again, and you just like, how are you functioning and want to take your life? And it's like, you know, when you're raised, well, I wasn't raised with my siblings, but when you're raised in that bloodline, you be like this, I'm not that weak. And then you're like, okay, wait a minute. Let me stop saying I'm not that weak, because anybody can fall subject to wanting to kill themselves or do harm to themselves. It's not about being weak. It's about being in a frail moment and letting something really overtake you to push you to that level.
Okay. So I'm supposed to give you a synopsis of the scenario, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna not name drop because
Right.
due to
Right.
the situation, I don't want to let it out the bag.
Yes, sir.
So Wednesday,
Uh
you have a kid.
huh.
He does some daredevilish stuff. He sticks
Okay.
something in her ear.
Okay.
You take him to the hospital, and he starts expressing the depressive states and things of that nature.
Right.
Potentially suicidal thoughts,
Yeah.
potentially homicidal thoughts.
Right.
You let that kid go home.
Oh.
Not
Right.
immediately admit it, which you should do, right?
Yeah.
Said nine kids get up, goes to school like a normal day,
Yeah.
get accused of having a substance at school. Now,
Okay.
this kid is middle school. We're just gonna say
Okay.
middle school.
Okay.
You send this kid away from the school without a parent pickup.
Okay.
Then the kid gets home after going
Oh.
to quote unquote clear his head. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, me said name kid is on certain medications
Okay.
that side effects causes psychosis,
Most definitely. They do.
suicidal and homicidal thoughts,
Ideation. Yeah.
ideation, things of that nature.
Most definitely.
So when you send that kid home,
Mhm.
that kid does something to the point where he can't return from it.
Right.
Not only do he hurt himself,
Yeah.
he hurt a family,
Yeah.
he hurt a mother, he hurt a father,
Yeah.
he hurt aunties, uncles,
Cousins.
cousins,
Oh,
nieces,
yeah. Yeah.
he hurts friends at school.
Most definitely.
But
Even people that.
the
Yeah.
warning signs was there.
Mm.
Where are the counselors in the school? Where are the mandations that say, no, he can't go home right now?
Right.
And I speak on this because, again, I don't never speak on anything for personal experiences,
Most
right?
definitely.
I share my story all the time.
Right.
God
Right.
willing, I'm still here.
Yes, sir.
2023, I should have been a dead man.
Yeah. We've talked about this. Yeah.
So if God spared my life, and in the midst of sparing my life, they told me I couldn't go home for 10 or 12 days,
Right.
and I'm a grown adult
Yeah.
who has been on the name one medication, Abilify, which is
Okay.
causes homicidal ideation, suicidal. I mean, to the point where
Yeah.
the first time I took it, I was ready to do some things that I shouldn't have
Right.
been
Most
doing.
definitely. Most definitely.
So,
Told me.
how do we expect these kids? Let's go back to
Uh-huh.
these kids to come to a classroom
Yeah.
and sit still every day when they've been told they're crazy,
Mm.
when they're given these medications
Most
because of a
definitely.
check,
Right.
uh, when they deal with probably some home stuff that
Yeah.
is not normal.
Most definitely. Most
Don't know
definitely.
where their next meal coming from.
Come on.
Don't know if they the daddy because they
Yeah.
run in the house because mama got to work
Right.
2 and 3 jobs,
Exactly.
or they the mama because they running the house at age 10, 11, 12
Yeah,
because
yeah.
mama got 2 and 3 jobs and the
Most
daddy
definitely.
ain't there. Let's
Right.
talk about these men.
And then the whole simple fact with this whole thing with this is it's been passed down generation to generation.
Right,
And it's been passed down by removing the male out of the house.
right,
Let's just go back. Let's go back to before when our grandparents. Let's just go to the baby boomers right now. The baby boomers was taught to keep the family together at all costs. I come from a situation where I was in Long Beach, California, in a drug house with a fiend. She took care of me the first 8 months of my life. My family couldn't find me or
right,
whatnot, right?
right,
So my family gets me. They gets me here to Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff happened with my mom and my dad. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealers turned into fiends. You know the story. I told you about it, all that stuff. But you got to look at how it is. Our baby booming grandmother and grandfathers are dead now.
right, right. But you
So
gotta
now we have
also
our
look.
Gen X. We have our Gen X parents, and we're a Gen X because I'm a Gen X. I'm the late of Gen X. I'm 80, so I'm at the end of the cusp going into millennials. You got to look at the whole situation that this was handed down, but where do we break the cycle? We break the cycle when we break the cycle with our own children, making sure our children is good, making sure we check in, making sure we're showing up and stand up men. Hey, I'm working these jobs, but I'm still going to be at these basketball games. Hey, what's going on that phone? What's going on? Stuff. We have to be there present. And I feel that we are in a generation right now that none of the OGs want to pass down the game
But
like
but
we had.
but let's stop right there. Now you said something interesting. You said go back to the Gen X's. Let's go
Yeah.
back to the crack heroin
Era.
epidemic.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
Product of it.
Let's talk about scientific things that has happened to our kids. We
Yeah, yeah.
talking about the crack babies. We talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
the substance abuse babies that
Yeah,
were
yeah,
already abused before they came in the
yeah.
world. So what comes along with that? You have learning disabilities. You
Most
have
definitely.
um,
ADHD,
ADHD. You have all
ED,
these things.
emotional disturb. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You have all these things. You
most
have
definitely.
slow at learning. You have all
Yes,
these
sir.
things, and
Yeah, yeah.
then let's this gonna shock the world right here. Then you have these kids who are being raped and molested by
Most
adults
definitely.
and having babies at 13 and 12
Come
and
on.
11
Come
and
on.
10 and 9. So you got babies who don't know
Having,
how to be adults themselves, how to
come on.
raise themselves that are raising these kids.
Yeah.
So
It's
then
the vicious
boom,
cycle.
what does that fall into now? Yeah, it does take a village, like one young lady just said on social media. She said it takes a village. That kid was failed because people didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Right.
Right.
But what happens when the village is damaged itself?
Exactly. So the whole
The,
village is damaged, and then it's boom, the school system, who is
yeah.
supposed to be mandated reporters and protectors, who not
Right.
even doing their job because the
They're
teachers are
burnt
so
out.
overwhelmed
Come
with
on.
the teacher because not only do they have one, they got 15 out of 24. That's
Of
like
the
that.
with the same, and that's what I'm saying. With the same situation, how do you cope as a educator? My wife was an educator for I think 5 years for NPS. She came home drained all the time dealing with these children, and I used to tell her, I said, listen, it all happens from the house. It all happens from the home. Everything, our dynamics, everything we've learned, everything I've learned in my life was from my grandparents. My grandparents raised me. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I've learned how to open a door for my wife or to go pull up and do things, make sure my kids is all right, making sure my son is doing what he's supposed to be doing. I just believe that the core thing is the home. Once we get the home straight in America, black or white, this thing will cease. Everybody want to be on their phones. I see these kids they just want to be on their phone, and they got a baby, and the baby is just looking like what is it? Then you put the baby on the tablet. So we're at screens all day.
Right.
When am I sitting down talking to you?
But that's even what you call programming. How do you call it?
It,
Brainwashing. That's even
it
brainwashing.
really is.
GTA. You got the GTAs, you
Yeah,
got the shooting
kids. That's
games,
what
you
we.
got the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
person, you got
yeah.
all this stuff. And see, that's the thing, bro. We gotta really say what it is till it what it ain't.
Right, right.
Everything, and here's go another shocker. Everything was programmed to either imprison our young people
Yep. Or
or
destroy.
destroy them.
Yep, yep, yep. Me
Because
and my wife were just talking about this morning.
here's why. Because the power of, why would you want to destroy a whole race? Let's look at the Holocaust. You want to
Okay.
destroy
Yeah.
because of the potential of their greatness. You're
That's
stealing
it. That's
something
it.
from them, and we're in Black History Month, so we're gonna
Come on.
say this. They're stealing something from us. They steal
Yeah.
culture, they steal inventions, they steal all
Listen.
this. But again, the brainwashing portion becomes the rage of these kids. These
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
don't have an outlet no more, bro.
You,
They
you
don't
got to
feel
understand.
like when I came up, I had Miss Sadler. I can go to talk to Miss Sadler, and when I
Listen.
said what I said to Miss Sadler, she's gonna give me a word of advice, and she's
Come
gonna,
on.
if it ain't nothing too detrimental, she gonna
Yeah.
check on me every day.
Yeah.
But if she had to call them people to protect me,
Yeah. She gonna do that too.
she gonna do that too. See, nowadays
Uh huh.
kids are afraid to go to people because of things that people don't want to talk about. They
Come
don't
on.
want to
Come on.
talk about let's keep it 100 because it's in the news. These teachers touching these kids,
I'm telling you, it's all
men
over the
and
news.
women. So it ain't
Come
no
on.
safe haven for them. They don't feel like that at school, where these teachers feel like they bigger than the kids, or they don't have no empathy for these kids. Because
Yes.
I'm here to
Yes.
educate you, and
Yeah.
you can't tell me your problems, and you can't
Right.
do this and you can't do that. No, you know, with me as an educator, when I see a kid doing too much of something, I'm gonna ask the question, what's going on with you? Can I talk
Come
to
on.
you outside for a minute? Is there
Right.
something I can help you with? If it's something going on, you need to tell me so I can
Come
tell the
on.
right type of people. I'm not a
Right.
therapist, I'm not a counselor. All I am is your educator and your teacher, but I would like to know what I could do to help you understand that this is an avenue and a road out to a better life, because that's what we was taught as kids. But see, here's
Listen.
the thing: when they
Go on.
figured out the Ruby Bridges is, when they figured out the Barack Obamas, when they
Yeah.
figured out all
Yeah.
these great names that got
That's
our
right.
skin color, when you
Yeah.
give them proper education, when you
Uh huh.
give fair and equal education,
Come on. Come on.
they start to become bigger than what you think they are.
Yes.
They start becoming the Oprah Winfrey's. They
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
to becoming the Jay-Z's. Because let's
Yeah.
keep it 100. Jay-Z was a drug dealer. And I
That,
tell
that,
my
let's
kids
go
this
with
all the
yeah.
time. I say, if they give you, if they'll give you Franklin, what's that, Snowfall? Let's take
Yeah.
that.
Select phone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He was a smart kid.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gave him drugs, and he
Yeah.
had a whole almost $1 billion drug organization that he was running.
Yes.
And when the government thought he was no good anymore, when he had served his purpose, he then became obsolete. We have served our purpose. We are
I,
no longer
woo.
obsolete to the United States. We are no longer obsolete to the world. So now what do they have to do? They have to get rid of us. Here's why they're gonna get rid of us: because they have made us so dependent on
On them.
them,
Can I
to
jump
now
in?
we become a liability instead of an asset.
Let me show you something. America, Tupac is the best. He said America throws their babies away.
Yes.
And I never understood what he said about that. He said, "Come from out the birth," and they throw them away because he's talking about we are put in this society to live. But you got to look at it. If we're having a baby, if Brenda's having a baby, oh my God, we about to go deep. If Brenda keep on having these babies, what is she doing? Throw them in the garbage because she don't want the responsibility. That's what America is. They don't want the responsibility no more. And like, let's go about what you said, how when a black person gets high in this world or get into notoriety or something like that, they either do this. They either, i.e., Tupac, Biggie, Small of them, or they just stifle them to make them crazy, i.e., Kanye. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when a black man, especially a black man, becomes powerful in his own culture, white America, and I'm not disrespecting them or anything like that, but this is how their system is. They have made a system that is just a system. Willie Lynch. It's just steady moving. It's like a conveyor belt. We spit them out. This is how it is. That's once you get Bill Cosby. I was talking. We was watching something about Bill Cosby, and I said it's funny how they will love to kick it with you when you high and doing what they want to, but when you go to the left, i.e. Michael Jackson, when you go to the left, I got to kill you. I got to destroy you because you about to tell the secrets that I don't want nobody to know. That's
Yeah,
just
but
how it is.
you got to think. What's his name? Is it Dick Gregory who say all the stuff that he say? He say
Yeah,
all the stuff, but they have him deemed as so much crazy that
yeah.
he don't even get no people listen.
But
But
it
it
ain't
ain't it ain't
going
if
nowhere.
they look at it, it ain't going nowhere.
That's,
Just like with me and you post things on social media about spirituality all the time,
and don't
and
nobody.
you
Right.
get 4 likes. But
For real.
and I'm gonna use this as an analogy. But as soon as you see the death of a young man, you get 50,000 likes, man.
Come on.
And we talking about hearts. We ain't talking about the caring heart. We getting
Yeah.
50,000 thumbs up. This
Listen.
what do you when you see somebody fighting or somebody half naked twerking,
Come on.
but when we talking about something serious, we
Real.
don't want to have these conversations. We
Not
don't
at
want to
all.
have the type of conversations that really matter. What I call
No.
is the hard conversations. You don't do it
We
at
have to have
home.
it.
You don't do it in your marriage. You don't do it in your
Listen.
relationship. You don't do it in your family relationships. You don't do it in your family dynamics. You won't be able to say, "Oh, you hurt me and I
Come on.
hurt you. How do we resolve for this?" Because
That's
we
it.
so
Used to.
psychotically messed up in the head that we don't even know how to have a civil conversation with another
You
man or another
talking.
woman.
You
We don't
talking.
even
You
know how to
talking.
accept criticism because
Yes.
all we know is defense. And that's what's wrong with
Uh,
these kids. They're growing up seeing their mothers punched on and beat on. They're
listen.
growing up
Yeah.
seeing their mothers and fathers come in drunk. They're growing up seeing their fathers abusing women. They're growing up seeing these things that's going on that they're being exposed to. They're being exposed to sexuality at a young age. They're being
Alarming
exposed to
rate.
all these
Yeah.
adult things. So while my left brain trying to develop and my right brain trying to develop, I'm getting thrown so many things instead of ABCs and 1 through 3s at me. I'm too far more advanced than I should be at 12. I should be still playing with the basketball, but I'm trying
Listen.
to play with the girls. I'm trying to play
Listen.
with the grown woman. I'm trying to play with the packs. I'm trying to be a
Woo.
kid boy. I'm trying to drive at an early age.
You telling
I,
it.
I tell people this all the time. Enjoy being a kid because being an adult
Please
is
do.
hard.
This
Especially a
adult
young
thing
black
ain't cool.
man. It's hard.
Especially a young black male. Especially a young black male that is doing something out here. You got women that's gonna try to take what you got, and I'm not saying all females, but don't be someone that's powerful, articulate, and just smart in his own lane. A lot of people don't like the black man being educated. It's just something about that threatens them, and I don't understand that. So what they do is they dumb down us. They give us hip hop. I love hip hop. I was just listening to hip hop before we got on this call. You got to use these tools as a tool to get where you got to get in life. And I don't believe these kids is really looking like they are in the digital age where they can be entrepreneurs. They can do all kind of stuff through this phone, bro.
But
And I don't think they don't do that because they dumb them down so much with all the stuff they put on social media that they mind and everything. Like, wait a minute, that person getting paid for this.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this.
Go ahead.
If you don't want somebody to know something, where do you put it?
My grandfather said this all the time. That's why I read a book all the time. He said, if you don't want to know, you put it in a book.
You put it in a book. Ain't no kid gonna see no book and pick it up like this.
Come on, talk about it.
I'm not gonna figure this out. But see, we have some of the most articulate minds. We have the likes of George Washington Carver.
Carver, yes. Come on.
Kids don't even know about him. We have the likes of Hidden Valley Ranch. The people who created the ranch.
The ranch, yeah.
The ranch dressing was made by a black man. This gonna mess you up. We running around here wearing Lacoste, and Lacoste was made by a black man in Europe. He was a black tennis player. But these are the things that kids are supposed to be at school learning. They can't even sit down and do like this, man.
Because
they
of
can't the chemical imbalances that they have. It's in the food.
Yes.
It's in the soap.
What they see. They see.
And it's everything, just like, excuse what I'm about to say.
Say what you're going to say.
Homosexuality has been put on TV so much.
Listen.
People believe that that's normal.
And it's not. It is not. Being a person of faith, it's not.
God made Adam and Eve, but not Adam and Steve.
I'm sorry.
So let's just keep it 100. So as a kid, I'm trying to grow up and learn life, but I'm thinking about all these other things.
So I can't be a kid. So what is the easy way to do something? What did Kendrick Lamar say? Turn the TV off. And if that's to do this, if all this distraction is in my head, for me to get peace in my feeble 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old mind, I can just end it. And I don't have to listen to none of this stuff no more.
Right, but
you're not thinking that you ending it and you just ripped your whole family, your friends, all this stuff. We're wondering like, man, because to kill yourself, we know where that person ends up spiritually.
So let me
Look,
ask you this.
man, it's just wild, bro.
Do you believe, and
Uh
people
huh.
gonna say I'm a conspiracy theorist, that when they run these tests on kids when they little,
Uh huh.
that they start to play with the kids who are they know gonna be geniuses. They test brain waves. They test all this stuff when your kid is
Mm-hmm.
born. But we don't never think about that. What
Right.
happens when you put the kid in an incubator and you say we gotta go run all these tests on? Who is to know what tests you running on our kids?
Exactly. Exactly.
So at that moment, you give them free reign to
Uh huh.
put chemicals in your kids,
Right.
brainwash your kids through
Right.
sound. Sound is one of the biggest brainwashes
Bro,
that there is.
listen. We listen to music all the time, bro. We listen to tunes. We remember tunes from 1980 when we were kids. We'll just hear it from somewhere else. It's been in us. It's embedded in us.
So, and I'm gonna tell people this: you got to start watching Marvel movies and paying attention.
Man, I'm telling you. So they put it
I
in your
just
face.
watched the Captain America movie for an example. In the
I
beginning, it
gotta watch
told the
that.
tale. It told the
Yeah.
tale. The man, as soon as a certain sound came on through his phone,
Uh huh.
he tried to kill the president.
See what I'm saying?
But they think, oh, that's just in a movie.
No.
Can we
No.
go back to the James Bond movies of the 80s and 90s where they
Come on.
had cell phones and we thought that there was no way possible that was fake? It just wasn't. It wasn't for us to have
accessible.
that.
It
They
wasn't
didn't know how to
accessible to
control.
the American people.
Or better yet, you sitting at home thinking about shrimp fried rice, and as soon as you open your phone, eight
Bro,
Chinese
come on.
restaurants come up. Come on, man.
How? Come on.
And not something is
Because they
going on
listening.
here.
Come on now.
Something is going on to the point
Yes.
where they doing it to our kids so bad that
Yeah.
you doing they murderers,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
but
unfortunate.
heartless murderers.
Yes. It's unfortunate.
I was watching the sentencing of the three dudes that did what they did in Atlanta and killed that man trying to steal his car,
Oh yeah.
and they hit him. They gave them kids over 400 years in prison, right? And I was thinking, these kids just standing there numb.
Right. But you got to look at the situation that, like you just said before, mom and dad is not there. Listen, I just told my wife, I said, you know why the baby boomers kept us 80s babies and Gen X like that, and they called us latchkey kids because our parents was off working and all that stuff, which is true. But they kept the family together because of slavery, bro. We don't have that no more. So we don't. Those people that are dying. So we don't
Yeah,
have that no more. We have no other light. We have no other light but our parents. And if our parents didn't learn from their parents, we're just inheriting just mess. Like I said before, no one's perfect in this world, but damn, at least try.
and so I'm gonna give you another thing. Kids don't need a pill; they need a belt.
That's it. That's
Kids
it.
don't need a pill. See, here's the thing. You get a pill,
Yeah.
you can control the mind because you can put all kind of chemicals in that
And
pill.
that's it. Come on
So
now.
when I was coming up,
Uh huh.
my mama can whoop my behind and nothing happen.
Yeah.
Now you whoop your kid,
You
you
can get
might
them
go to
people call
jail.
on you. Listen, them people get called on you.
So
What is the
now
CPS? Child Protective Service? Yeah.
when kids could tell you, I'm gonna call the police on you. You
right.
touched me. Hmm.
Right.
You kill our youth, you kill our future. You
That's
kill
it.
our youth, you kill our future.
I love it.
You
I love. You're
turn
right.
you turn homosexuality as a norm. You stop our reproductive system.
Come on, man. They got a plan, bro.
Everything that's going on is geared towards hurting our people.
Yeah.
What is happening? I was just telling somebody the quality of education in the MPS is so horrible now. When we
It's
talking
not
about
like that.
villages, you had the Miss Sallers, you had the Miss
Yeah.
Ely's,
Yeah.
you
I had
had
Miss
the
Larson. I
Mr.
had people that
Bernards,
helped.
you had all
Yeah.
these teachers
Leland
who
and them.
really
Yeah.
cared about
Carter.
and wasn't
What was that? Bentley. Man, I had a
yeah,
lot of them,
yeah,
bro.
and wasn't um trying to get something out of a kid, but get a kid to do the right thing.
Listen, because they were still. You got to look at it. They was raised by baby boomers. I
And
just
it's
told my wife. I said, listen. Do you know why '90s hip hop was such the toughest hip hop? Is because you got to remember this. The Panther kids was the '90s rappers that we
yeah,
listened to, and we had to deal that we was unified, bro. '80s, you know what I'm saying? To the '90s, we was unified. Even the early 2000s, we was unified. Once social media really took a plug in us, and everybody got to see what everybody had, everybody started matching up, or like how we do, lining up our penises and saying who's bigger. Like that's how that. And I'm sorry to say it like that. I'm gonna be real, because that's what I am. We start looking at everything we had in each other's house. Instead of being a friend, we became adversaries.
We can't, or we envy one another.
That's what the adversary. That's exactly what it is. I'm now mad at Reggie because dang, Reggie got a house and a nice car. Because we didn't see that when we was growing up. We just saw that, that's nice. They got a house, we got a house. Everybody was like equal. But social media let us see what was in the house. See what you did, Dan.
But you remember back in the day, Mr. Brown down the street, if he saw you and have a father at home, he would say, "Hey, young man, I got a plumbing business. Can I show you how to do plumbing?
Yep.
Can I teach you how to make an honest buck?"
Yep.
Now, if I say to that kid, "Hey, can I teach you how to cut grass? Can I teach you how to paint a wall? Can I show you that it's a lucrative business?" You know what he gonna tell me? I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
they don't see no hope. I said this one day. I said everybody in the house wearing Jordans, but ain't nobody learned how to win.
Bro, listen. Not only that.
Yeah.
Not only that, everybody in the house wearing Jordan and can't spell Jordan. And it's right, and it's right in front of them.
But that's how they done got us. Man, I'm so sorry for our people.
Let me tell you what happened. I'm supposed to give you this. Every time our people start to come out and figure it out, something happens.
Yeah.
This last time it was the COVID virus.
There it goes.
So let's think about this. I teach fourth graders.
Okay.
So fourth grade, meaning COVID was 2020, 2021?
Yep, 2020, I think it was. I was about to be 40.
They're K4, they K5 first grade kids, right? You take half that year from them.
Yeah.
Then you give them a whole year on virtual where the parents say, "Hey, I ain't got to buy no clothes.
Listen, yep.
They can go home from school. The school gonna supply them with a computer, which the federal government gave to them.
Yeah.
Unmonitored, free internet, all this, right?
Yep.
And we're gonna set these kids at home for a whole year.
Yep.
Then we're gonna take them back
to the school system.
To the school system.
After I done let them be off, and they don't want. Now that just did more harm. COVID did more harm to us as humans than any other virus. I don't care what they said, because it was just crazy anarchy. And when you got to look at all them other polio, all them other diseases did not have social media telling them what was going on all the time. The more you have knowledge, the more things become dangerous.
Give me 1 second.
You hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me 1 second. Hey, you can keep talking, giving the people some knowledge, bro.
Okay. So with the whole simple fact with COVID, I was a worker that was always out in the field, man. Like I said, I'm in the medical field and all that stuff, and I was always dealing with it, man. Every day I went to work, it felt like we were in an apocalypse. It felt like the end of the world. Wasn't that many cars out there. Wasn't all that stuff. I got to go to work at 6 something in the morning, so I got to be up around 5 something. So when I was looking at it, I'm just like, man, this looks so end of the world type feel. So when you have that pressure on people and they can't afford things, you're going to have a melting pot. People just lost their mind. You can do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to. Everybody's just fine with what you're saying to them. We lost how to be humane. Like with whatever little humane that we had left in our bones, we lost it after COVID. And I think that sense of rationality in the mind made people just think like, oh, the world is about to end, so I don't care. I'm about to do whatever I want to. And they was like, dang, the world in the end? That wasn't the rapture? That wasn't it? So now I got to go back into this normalcy and all that stuff, and they lost their mind. So they're like, we're trying to get normalcy back into American fiber or just in the world, and it's not there, bro. I promise you, it is so crazy to me to have our children be so caught up in what's the fads, all that stuff. We were caught up with the fads too. We've been wearing Jordans ever since they came out. We've been wearing these clothes, we did Jabos, all kind of stuff, cross colors. Remember that stuff? We was doing this stuff. The starter jackets that boy and kids was getting killed from. We grew up in the 90s, bro. The 90s was hell on wheels from the East Coast to the West Coast. Just look at the crime in the 90s, bro.
Right.
Revolutionary crime.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying though, bro, and let's just backtrack back a
Let's
little bit.
wheel it back in. But we can go rant off. I'm sorry for the rant, but yeah.
Yeah, we both the same, so you know that's it. But let's say this. Say it takes a village.
Yeah.
People dropping the ball on all
Yeah.
facets. Government mandates ain't mandate no more.
No.
Schools are exhausted because
Yeah.
they
The
underpaid,
workload, bro.
overworked.
The workload.
You got to understand that teachers make less than prison guards,
Come
but
on, bro.
they making prisons and closing schools.
That's the whole thing.
You got to think during COVID, they also took away the mental health institutions, the buildings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they giving it back to the families. So
Yeah.
what is happening here? You gotta look at it, man.
Mhm.
Everybody who, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it proudly. If you give a man 30 years in prison,
Yeah.
all he has to do is what? Read a book, work
That's it.
out,
That's it.
and live his life.
That's it.
You have some of the smartest
Yeah.
African American young men in prison right
Right
now
now. Yeah. Right now.
because they made one mistake
Yeah.
and it
And
didn't,
it cost them their life.
and it cost them their life. Probably cost somebody else theirs too.
Their life too.
Probably
Yeah. Most
cost a
definitely.
couple multiple
So
people
people,
too.
come on now, because you got to look at it. It's a
But
domino effect. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would think that if a free man
Mhm.
lives worse than a condemned man,
Come on.
a condemned man live better than a free man.
That's crazy.
What are we doing?
We're doing it backwards. That's why. Because if I'm sitting out here free, but I have a jail in my mind, I can never reach what that prisoner can reach in his mind because he has accepted the things that he's done. He's repented in himself. He's went to God. He's learned something within himself, and now he's done locked himself in the cage. But if my mind is caged, he's locked physically. My mind, I'm out, and I'm locked. And there's a lot of us that are afraid to just jump. And God is saying, jump, because I have the faith. I have you.
But
If you just trust in me.
Here's the thing. I said it earlier. I said we can't do nothing about tomorrow.
No, it's gone.
I mean yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday is gone.
Yesterday is gone. That's
today,
tomorrow.
right?
Yesterday.
And
Come on.
tomorrow ain't promised.
Listen.
So it's one or two things that we know for certain.
Mhm.
The day you born and the day you die. What you
Listen.
do in between, right?
That little
So
dance,
what I
brother.
believe is they're altering our path
Yeah.
through psychologically destroying
Warfare.
us.
It's warfare,
psychological work. It's all that because
bro.
if we're gonna keep it 100, bro,
Yeah, talk about it.
the medical profession is a
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar business.
Unfortunately, they're not trying to heal you. Unfortunately, they're just managing what's going on. I'm sorry, work for it and everything.
Okay,
but it's the truth.
That's number one. Number two, education is fear. It is the fear. An educated man is the most feared man. Black man is the most feared man on the face.
Especially when they're educated.
Especially when they're educated. So let me break this down. And I'm going to talk about black boys because I'm a man. I wish we could have got a woman that would have joined and talked about black young ladies.
Right.
I deal with PTSD, but I also come from a family who has history of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. So at any given moment, I have a chemical imbalance in me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a average black kid growing up in poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Mother probably 17 on average. This is proven statistics. Born to a mother at 17.
Come on.
Who probably eventually dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
The mother then turns around, joins the public system,
Yeah.
She gets, if she's good enough, she gets her GED and becomes a what? CNA.
Yeah.
She has to work 14, 15, some days, doubles, triples, ooples to make good checks to make ends meet to be able to provide for her family, to pay,
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
pay a car note and rent
Yeah.
and light and gas and all this, right?
Yeah.
So the father,
Hmm.
because a family that's like that, you don't have to do all that because you got two incomes, two people
Yeah.
that's working and
Yeah.
pulling, right? Who
This is
probably
why
ain't there.
it was supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be a
Re-
man and a woman in the house.
reproducing
Yes.
to someone else. So now he putting his offspring out there
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
The mother at this time, because she's so emotionally distraught and hurt, she meets a nothing ass nigga
Yep.
who
Talk
then
about
comes and impregnate her again because she
it. Yep.
needs to be loved. Because at 17, you getting pregnant. Most
Yep.
17-year-olds ain't. If you got to come from a good family, you really ain't trying to do nothing. We just
No.
gonna keep it 100, man. And if
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
don't like hearing what I'm saying, you don't like hearing what I'm saying. Two-parent
Turn
households
the
are what's
TV
up.
off. Turn the TV off. If you don't
You
like
know what
it,
I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry.
So you then don't have a kid who parents sit down and say A B C D E F
Yeah.
G H I J K L M N O P, or they
Yeah.
don't turn on Sesame Street because
Uh-huh.
everybody want to say Big Bird is gay. You see how
God, it's
you see
so
how
messed
all
up. It's so
you
messed up.
you
It's
see
just
how
so
all
messed
the
up.
ideology is to brainwash you.
Yeah.
So then your mother is your mother. She has feminine tendencies. A
Yeah.
man is supposed to. I can't teach a young girl how to be a woman. That's
Right.
why my daughter is with her mother.
Listen. And they can't teach a man to be
How
a man.
a man.
And,
So
and it's so unfortunately, let me just chime in right quick. Because my mom, when my mom got back into my life, like I said, my grandparents and them raised me. My grandfather died early age. I was 12. I became the man in the house. Grandmother taking care of my grandmother and my little cousin and stuff like that. So I grew up with a sense of not have to listen to nobody because now I'm now getting up to age that I can go get a job and start contributing to the house and things like that. So I was telling my wife the other day, I said, you know what? I really didn't know how to be a man until I became a man older. Like I said, I'm about to be 45 on Saturday. So my mindset is that my father died at 45.
right.
So I'm today in the car emotional talking to my auntie in California, and she's like, "Well, you made it though. You didn't do all these things. You wasn't a needle sharer. You wasn't a drug addict or nothing like that. But the thing is that I wasn't all those things, but I still had a fear that I wasn't gonna make it to 45.
So let me use my counseling background on
Go
you.
ahead, use it. Yes.
You just said my grandfather died at 12. I became the man of the house.
Yeah.
At 12, you lost your childhood.
Exactly.
So at 12, you psychologically got to pay bills,
Right.
take care of the house, be the protector of the home,
Exactly.
and go to school and try to get good grades.
Right.
Now, I would like to think that the Harvey that I know now,
Yeah.
had he got a chance to be a kid and live his full life, the Harvey that I know now would be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. He wouldn't be working for somebody else.
Right.
But because society has taken our black men away, because they've
Yeah.
been doing this
For
since
years,
the welfare, the Willie
bro.
Lynch.
And that's really when it started. 1964, the Act of 1964. Look it up, y'all. 65. Look those numbers up, and look how the families just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
We're not just spitting these numbers out or nothing like that just to be playing around. We are
So
black men that research this stuff.
so they have proven fact that they take us and do experiments on us to
Always.
find out our ingeniouses, right?
Yes, because we're great athletes. Bro, you got to look at all the whole picture. What they did with us, how they played us, how we, Man, they did a lot of stuff, bro, and I'm not trying to go there because I have white friends that I'm cool with.
Yeah,
You know
bro.
what I mean? I
Just
don't
like I
want to
said,
go
bro,
there.
we gonna get deeper into this. Just y'all know, we got a podcast called I'm Just Saying. We'll be
Yes,
dropping on Sundays real soon,
yes,
where we take everything spiritual and turn it into worldly ways. And
I love it.
I'm gonna be the Charleston White of it. He gonna be the, I
Much
might be
better.
the wild boy, but I'm really on this
I love it.
thing to where I see bullshit before it
Come
happens.
on. Yeah,
I knew that this shit had changed in 2011
yeah.
when I was going to run for alderman in the city of
Okay.
Milwaukee.
Mhm.
I went to the Democratic committee where they had this class where you got to get certified to be able to run.
Mhm.
And I said, I will no longer take out of these kids' mouths and be brought to take away from our children.
Right.
So what I mean by that is we're living in a tough time, right?
The toughest that it's ever been.
It takes a heartless person
Yeah.
to stick a gun to somebody's head and take his stuff.
Almost definitely.
It takes a heartless person to stick a gun to somebody's head and blow their brains out.
Come on now. But
Are
what
they
made
heartless? Hold
that
up, check this out.
boy?
Watch this. Are they heartless or are they afraid?
That
They're
too.
afraid.
But they're afraid too. But you gotta understand, if I keep on, let's just say I'm at a restaurant and I'm starving outside, and every day I'm trying to sing my way in. La la la, I'm hungry. Please let me in. You know, a week go by, I'm singing the same song. I'm hungry. After the third week, I'm picking a lot coming through blasting. That is something that Tupac said, and I never understood it until I got older. Listen, America, we have sung the song that you wanted us to sing. It's going to come to the point that we're going to come through and just take what we got to take, and that's just it, with no regard. We don't want to do that because we don't want to be animals. Y'all used to call us animals. We don't want to be that. So the last of the dying breed of the ones that don't want to be that, this next generation is going to be angry, and they're going to be animalistic. So you're going to have to do something, America. I'm not just saying, oh, just do something for blacks and that's just it. No, I'm not saying that. But you got to get to a point to stop treating us like we humane, and to stop treating us like we just garbage, and stop treating us like we don't have a brain. We have a brain. We read books. Every nigga ain't a nigga. And once America get that, we'll be in a better state. We want it just like y'all want it. We want the white picket fence. We want the green grass. We want all that stuff. But how in the hell can we get it if you keep on impressing first us as black males, and then we're so scared to tell the next generation, oh, master is going to do something wrong to us. We have to man up and teach these young boys and help these young boys, or we will be futile in the next couple of years.
Okay. So let's stop right there.
Man, sorry, y'all.
Now we trying to stay on the mental health portion of the mental.
Let's get back to the mental. But that is the mental, though.
Yeah,
You're
you're right.
with me.
But what
That's
I'm saying is, like, where do we stop accepting pills? Where do we stop accepting labeling our kids? Dr. Umar Johnson just said something the other day. Kids are not fully developed till after age 6, so you shouldn't even be testing them for these ADHDs and things like that. Kids just learn different. I have a student, a K-5 kid. When I first got to the school, he used to run around. He never stayed in the class. And I'm gonna show you how clever our kids is. That they're not mentally ill. They just learn different, and you have to keep them occupied with the interest.
Bro, let me jump in right quick with you. They tried to push pills on me when I was younger, and thank God for my grandfather. We had the pills, everything, and I remember this as clear as day. My grandmother was about to hide it in some applesauce.
Right.
And she did hide in that applesauce, and I took just a little bit of it, and my grandfather knocked the plate out. Ain't nothing wrong with that boy. That boy just don't know how to sit down. We can't keep on pushing pills on these kids. And how did my grandfather know that in 1990s? And what was it, 90 or what was I, 10 years old? Yeah, 90. How would he know that? Because they tried to do that to me, and now I became What got great 3.5 in college, 4. I was because I'm paying for it. Like none of that stuff. But you see the reasons that I give you in the morning.
Yeah,
That
but
don't
see, here's
go
the
crazy,
thing.
bro.
Here's the thing. It's not because you're paying for it, because it's a place of interest. See,
Yeah.
what we have to stop doing is taking these standardized testing,
Mhm.
taking all these things and saying that our kids are incapable.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
kids are capable.
Yeah.
Now, back to the story. So, Jay, the kid, he sits up in the class. He comes to me every day. He says, "Mr. Holden, how you doing, Mr. Holden?" And I say, "Jalen, stay right there, sit right there." And he's like, "No." He could tell you everything that happened at his house, great memory, right?
Mhm.
So I said to myself, I said, this kid is not bad.
Right.
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
mentally wrong with him. So as I started doing digging, his father was facing a case. He was fighting a case, right?
Mhm.
Then the kid says, "Hey, Mr. Holden, the other day, my mama got caught stealing, and my grandma said she's stupid, and she shouldn't have been stealing."
Right.
Now, I'm going to see. You got 6 kids,
Mhm.
baby daddy in jail, all by the same guy.
Yeah.
Hmm. You working as a CNA and you got to go steal. Hmm.
It's a dirty game
So
that's been
your
played.
oldest son sits up till 2, 3 in the morning on a video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Hmm. So he comes to school the next day and all they talking about is girls and biddies and having girlfriends and calling
Mhm.
kids bitches and gay and hoes and fags
Mhm.
and punch, and I crash out on you right now. Hmm.
Listen.
Or another kid today who, he's a great kid,
Yeah.
wasn't engaged when I first got there, as learning kid, right? Till when he's reprimanded
Mhm.
for something, he then starts throwing desks and chairs and then
Mhm.
says, "I'm about to put my coat on and run out this building."
Mhm.
And we don't look at, why is this kid doing this?
Right.
Let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Is this kid being beat? Let's look at the obvious. Is he being beaten? Is he being abused? Is he being malnourished? Is he not
Right.
eating at home?
But
When
we also gotta say this, and let's clarify for your audience because I don't know if we're live or not.
we live on Facebook right now.
Let's clarify this because every woman is not in this situation, but the women that you deal with. So we just clarify that right now because I can see women like this. That ain't my story. That's my sisters. We love y'all, but we're just talking about the people that we've have
But we not letting the
encountered.
man off the hook neither.
No, we can't let the man off the hook because
We
we
not
are the
letting.
men.
See,
We're
that's
the
why I
ones
keep
that's
telling
representing
people
for him.
about me. I'm man. I'm pro man and woman. I don't let us. We do some fuck, because here's the thing.
Go ahead.
As a
Right is
hus-
right. Is wrong is wrong.
as a former husband,
Yeah.
I'm just to put it out there. When I got married to my ex-wife,
Uh huh.
all state aid had to go.
Yeah.
They will not control what happens in my house.
Yeah.
This is my house.
Mhm.
All I gotta go.
Yeah.
I
But you
came with
also
I came with resources. I went
and
out.
that's what they look at. That's what they look at. They look at the like I'm married. I'm married, and me and my wife we always talk about it and we joke about it, but they don't help married people.
No,
The government hates married people. Like they
not,
tax
they
us
don't
the
help
most.
marry black people.
Man, they don't help, bro. I got a
Listen,
couple of
listen,
brothers that's Mexicans and white, and they don't help them either, bro.
listen. Let me explain
I'm
something
like,
to you.
okay.
I done worked in social services, bro. If you think that Molly and Johnny ain't getting nothing, they getting it. It's just a different way they get it. They would have us believe that they don't, but
Mm.
they could drive a 2024 Biz and you drive a 1996 Impala,
Mhm.
which all make the same about a buddy. Make it make sense.
That's for another whole show. We can talk
Exactly.
about that for years and years to
So,
come.
so what is happening is,
Mhm.
again, we are looked at as crazy. We
Yeah.
are looked at as slow.
Yeah.
We are looked at as inferior.
Yes.
We looked at as can't read, can't write,
Yeah.
can't
Oh
what's
my
the name?
goodness. Oh my God. That right there. Yeah. That blows me. I don't
So
like that.
it's a guy, and I want you guys to look this guy up. His story is very interesting. I always talk about Mr. Carroll. His name is Curtis Wall Street Carroll. And we gonna close out with this. I'm gonna let you say some things.
Okay.
Curtis Wall Street Carroll was doing 25 to life for robbery murder. Curtis Wall Street Carroll got arrested when he was 16 years old. Curtis Wall Street Carroll grew up in Compton, California, in the
My hometown. Well, Long Beach is. We don't
in
hear
the
that.
crack epidemic, right?
Okay.
When Curtis Carroll got locked up, they now call this man the Oracle of San Quentin. Remember when
Mm.
I told you guys that he it's not the fact that we can't learn, it's
Yeah.
the mind.
Yeah.
So now when I can sit down and refocus my mind and
Yeah.
find something that I'm interested in, he was interested in finance. He
Mm-hmm.
taught all of Garrison, San Quentin finance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is now out of prison after having 25 to life for robbery murder.
Mm-hmm.
He's teaching people how to trade stocks.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett has talked about him.
Mm-hmm.
50 Cent has talked about him. Sway had him on the Sway Show on
Mm-hmm.
MTV. And they asked him, they said, you didn't finish your school, you didn't learn to read or write.
All right.
He said, yeah, but when I went to prison, I learned to read and write. And they was like, how? He said, I would trick people into teaching me words. And as I trick people, I would write them down.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the most, you can look him up on social
I'm
media,
gonna look him
Facebook.
up. Cause I've never. Yeah. I'm gonna look him up.
Curtis Carroll is a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
But now, because he's out on parole, he's still controlled.
Mm-hmm.
They can control him with the threat of sending him back to a cage, right?
Yeah.
So my question is this.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing this the wrong way,
Right.
education? Are we, as parents, too quick to tell the people put our kids on medication? Are
I,
we holding other people accountable for what they're supposed to be doing?
I'm gonna answer all that.
But at the end of the day, we can't hold other people accountable if we're not doing as parents what we're supposed to be doing.
That's the main thing.
We have to get out of this notion
Yeah.
that letting my kid go to somewhere else for a couple of days is a frown on me as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
No, that gives you a chance to decompress as well.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
gives you a chance to take a deep dive and say to yourself, what am I not doing as a parent?
Right.
How did I not notice these signs? How did I
Mm-hmm.
not notice this? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that because and tomorrow we gonna redo this show on mental health. I need more people on here. We need
We do.
educators, and
Yeah.
you can share this. We need educators. We need teachers. We need
Yeah.
parents. We need everybody who knows something about mental health, about education, to
Yeah.
get on here and let's have this candid conversation. Let's
Yeah.
have this conversation because to God be the glory. You know, God lets everything happen for a reason. We had to
Most
have this
definitely.
conversation.
Most
Harvey,
definitely.
you know, me and you've been working on something for about 3-4 months,
Yeah. We
and
have. We have. Yes, we have.
I'm gonna tell you how the devil works, bro. The devil. I left my laptop at the school, so I'm on my cell phone right now
You
doing
did.
this, teaching this. You know, and God, you know, technology is so
I'm at
amazing
work.
nowadays,
Yeah. And
and I'm so good with it, you know, that I can make it do what it do.
right.
So, um, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about mental health. We have to talk about mental health on a real
Right.
broader scale. But suicide is at an all-time rate. The Bible is
Always
revealing
right.
itself as we speak.
Man, it's
Too many
unfolded.
plane crashes. We got
Yeah.
kids dying at a young age.
Yeah. Yeah.
God is coming. He said God is coming back for the what?
For
Bridegroom.
a bride with no spots on it, brother.
With no spots on it. So we have to take back the lives of our
Our
children.
right. We got to take back our
Too much
God given
witchcraft
right.
going on.
Yes, you see it on TikTok. These people got they crystals and all this stuff is just rolling up on the screen. I'm like, bro, this was not like this. Not even 5 years ago. That's what I'm talking about. The COVID thing.
It's more accessible now,
bro. It's crazy. So
so
that's that right there. But I want you to touch on the responsibility. We all, as adults, as parents, have the responsibility to make our child the greatest. And we also have the
we
ability
can't
to
make them great.
derail.
They have
We
to
can't make
want
them the
you.
greatest, but we have the ability to pour in them. We pour in them with the relationship that we have with them, and we have real relationship, not by the phone, not by all this stuff. Just sit down and talk to them, see where their minds is. I'm telling you, we gotta stop letting things raise our children. We got to stop letting the TV raise our children, these phones raise our children. We have to get back to a point in this, especially the black community. If we want to be who we are, we have to focus on our children. The teacher can't do it all by herself or himself. You cannot, I'm good, so I ain't going to worry about what I got to do. I'm going to just sit on the phone. I'm going to lay on my butt. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Up they back. Oh, I got to be a parent. Let me do all this stuff. We got to really invest in what we made. They didn't ask to come here. It was by our choices that they were born. So by that birthright, we have a covenant to God to raise them children, train them up in the ways, and they will never stray. This is the whole problem with America. This is the whole problem with everything that's going on. We got to stop leaving bystanders innocent. That's our babies out there. You don't care about your baby. Right. You want your baby to be riding in these kid cars, running into buildings, running into people. Y'all, you like this? This is what you want? You want them to be locked up in cages?
You know
this
why?
This is what you want for your child?
You know why? Because society has taught us that we too busy trying to control men and women, a person of the opposite sex, that we forget about our seeds.
My goodness, that's a word.
We too busy concerned about a person of the opposite sex to where we forget about our seed. Now,
right. Don't worry about somebody else loving us, but our children are screaming. Please love me. Look at me. Pay attention to me. What else do I do? How to cut myself? How to run these streets? I got to be all this stuff. Help me, mama. Help me, daddy. I know daddy may have left you, mama. I know mama may have left you, daddy. I'm still here.
So let's say this. Now, if it's to give y'all a real transparent moment, I don't like really taking people this deep dive into my personal life, right? So months ago, I had a young lady, my 15-year-old daughter.
Right.
She was 15 at the time.
Right.
And it made me kind of like realize something.
Mm-hmm.
That dude you just said, I was that dude.
Yeah.
What, Dr. Holden was that? Yeah, I was. I was a bitter baby daddy.
Bro.
And what I mean by that, because I was with somebody else, moved on with my life and married.
Come on.
The minute you got to acting like a hussy, I stopped fighting for what was mine and being in my daughter's life.
Bro.
So now my daughter has an anger towards her mother.
Yeah.
And now y'all trying to put her on medication, and I went off. You not putting my baby. I know it's my fault. Let me rebuild my relationship with my daughter, and I work on that on a day-to-day basis now. The fact of the matter is, what you said was so real.
Come on.
These kids need love.
That's it.
And we not talking, but how can our kids get love from parents that never been loved themselves? So they don't know how to love.
We the latchkey kids, bro, and you know how that is. My parents, I've always said this to my son, because me and my son had a strained relationship, and I was not there because I'm working and I moved on, got married, all that stuff. We all fall victim to this. But me and my son's relationship has been the greatest because my son said, Dad, you know what? I truly understand what was going on now. And it took him to get, he's going to be 25, and it took him to do that. Our relationship is good, bro. I'm so elated but I still put that time in. Reggie, you still put that time in.
Oh, yeah, I put it in now.
You know
what I'm saying is that runaway.
Yeah, I done did it too. I done did it too.
Could have been that burial way.
Come on.
So we got to stop. Psychologically, it ain't these kids is not mentally ill. They're crying out for help. They're crying out for love. They're crying out for support. They're crying out for I want to be able to do the right thing and not look like a pariah.
That's
The
it.
wrong thing is the right thing now, and the right thing is the wrong thing now.
Yeah,
Picking
yeah,
up a book is wrong.
yeah.
Twerking on this camera is right. Holding a
Right.
gun is right.
Wrong. Right.
We need to get back to a time.
Come on.
We need to get back to a time
Talk about it, bro.
to where the sixth grade graduation ain't the ultimate goal. It's the 12th grade graduation and the
Come on.
college
And
graduation.
college
We
graduation.
we
College is
celebrating
what's great.
sixth grade graduations like they
Come
the
on.
end all with all, bro. I
And they
remember
celebrate
graduating from
proms like they marriages. They
yeah,
celebrate proms like they marriages.
like
No, the marriage is the prize,
yeah.
not the prom.
So we telling people that once we graduate, what's the greatest thing you can do after? Like this is what I keep. We used to when I graduated middle school and elementary school. We
Hmm.
graduated. They took you
And that was
to
it. Right.
the
Wherever they was
old
gonna eat.
country buffet,
Right.
and
My
we was
life. That's
taught.
my life.
And now you know what you got to do next. You got to get right in middle
Good.
school. Them grades
That's
got to
it.
be better. It's gonna be harder. It's gonna be tougher.
That,
Boom.
yep.
From middle school, you got to go to high school. It's gonna be
Come
harder.
on.
It's gonna be tougher.
Yeah.
Boom. And there, when you graduate high school, then boom, that's the big thing. That's
That's
why
the
you
big
don't get the
thing.
ring until you graduate high school.
Who talk about it?
You
Because
don't
the
get the
common
ring till
man,
you
I don't
graduate
have
high school.
don't have me get in that. Don't have me get in that. Because the ring is symbolized that you have accomplished something.
Accomplish
That's the
something.
major prize. Don't baseball players, football players, basketball players get a ring because the 12th inning, bro. Y'all, I ain't gonna start. But when you get these things, this is what it is: the cap and gown. Oh my God, the prom is not the marriage. It's just the beginning of just
But you
courtship.
know why?
Learn that.
But you know why? Let me give you this. Because we are so used to now losing our kids before they even turn 15.
Wow. And that
We
right
are
there is
so
what I'm
used
about.
to our kids dropping out of high school and skipping
Yeah.
school because they don't even
Right.
go to school no more after ninth grade year.
Right. Wow.
You
Wow.
remember when you used to go in Marshall High School and you used to see 1,000 kids, and now you going to see 435?
Bro, listen, I'm from Hamilton. I went to Southside schools and it was packed, and now it look like a jail for real now.
Where they can't
It's
even,
great.
where they got classrooms going down the corridor that don't even have classes in it. Well, when we was in school, every class had a
Got to have a
classroom.
class in it.
And we
Yeah.
had talking about that. We're not gonna talk about the charter choice schools because there ain't that many charter choice schools that then
Hmm.
took kids away. You know where the kids
Right.
at? They sitting at
In it.
home. They waking up at 12 o'clock like drugs,
Yeah.
smoking a blunt,
Brother, I have to
self
wrap this
medicating.
up. I'm going to have to wrap
The
this up with you.
Yeah. So we'll be back on tomorrow. Uh
Man,
we'll try to do 7:30 tomorrow. I have my computer. I'll be
most
set up and
definitely.
everything on time. Hey, if you know anybody who
Please,
wants to be on this panel, get on. I'm just saying podcast is coming soon, man. This is
really
gonna be
coming
something
soon,
great.
really. It really
We
is.
have a lot of topics already worked out.
Yes, we
He
really
know
do.
his role. I know my
Yeah.
role. Um,
No,
versatile
it's not for the
clothing.
weak. It's not for the weak, but it is for the ones that really want to be enlightened. This is not us beating no spirituality on you. What we're doing is giving you a relationship with Christ. That's what this is all about, and giving that the other view. So we're getting the real world in real time, and we also bring in biblical practices to it. So just tune in. I'm telling you, it's gonna be real good,
And,
man.
and
Because
and
we both
if
come
you
from.
don't want to be part of it and be transparent and you still want to be fake and hiding who you really is, don't get on because
Please don't,
we
because it's
will
gonna be bad.
expose you because
Yes,
we got some gifts. We got some
listen,
gifts. We are
we
gifted
really do.
spiritually. We both gifted spiritually.
Yes,
But
yes.
versatile clothing line. Happy birthday to my brother Harvey, 45, man. That's a great
45 is
milestone.
Saturday. Yes.
Hopefully we can get you to 75. We shooting
Man, we
that
gonna get
goal.
me to 75. Listen, I'm gonna
Um
tell y'all something right now. My father died at 45. This is a milestone of greatness for me. So just in that case, I'm just happy and elated to be 45,
So,
bro.
and then on top of that, the Awaken the Souls podcast, we not no longer
Yes,
going to be just highlighting veterans. We're going to be highlighting anybody who deals with traumatic experiences, mental
that's
health
good.
issues, or things that we want to awaken our souls, man. We want you to be able to share
That's
your
it.
stories publicly.
I love
If
that.
you know somebody who's lost a loved one, whose story's not being told, a young man or young woman that's wrongfully in jail or in prison under charge, we want to tell their stories. we have to get out here and start telling the truth, and this is
We
gonna
really
be
do.
Truthful Podcast, man.
And stop
Everything that
lying
we,
to the people
yeah,
about
everything,
how religion is, because what we're so used to religion instead of a relationship with Christ.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the problem. And so many fake pastors out here playing around, and they're going to be caught for the souls that they're
No,
playing around
they
with.
have a relationship. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't have a. They have a relationship with that church name or that pastor
That's
name.
it.
They don't
That's
have a
what I'm saying.
relationship with
Shit with
the
God.
only
Come
name
on
that
now.
matters. See,
Come on.
you ain't gotta go to the seat of a church to have a relationship with
You
Christ.
better
We'll talk
believe
about
that.
that.
You better
But
believe it. We'll talk about that. But I had to leave. God bless all y'all. This was good, Reggie, man. I love you, man. Salute to all this that's going on. I'll holler at you, bro.